Level 1, the recruit. You arrive expecting another military posting, another base, another routine. Instead, you're handed a stack of manuals thicker than a phone book, nuclear command and control, launch authorization protocols, strategic deterrence doctrine. Most officers your age train for combat units. Some fly aircraft. A very small number gets selected for something quieter. Missile command. You're told the job is simple. Maintain readiness. Follow procedure. Never improvise. The instructors never raise their voices. They don't need to. Because eventually, they show you the map. Hundreds of underground silos scattered across remote land. Inside each silo sits an intercontinental ballistic missile. Many carry nuclear warheads. Each missile can travel thousands of miles in under 30 minutes. You stare at the map longer than expected. Those dots aren't theoretical. They exist beneath the soil right now, waiting. And suddenly, the job stops sounding technical. It starts sounding enormous. This place doesn't train soldiers. It trains decision makers. Level 2, the missile operator. Your first operational shift begins underground. The elevator drops slowly through reinforced concrete, nearly 60 feet below the surface. The launch control center is smaller than expected. 2 chairs, 2 consoles, thick cables running through armored walls. This room monitors a cluster of nuclear missiles buried across the countryside. 24 hours a day. 2 officers remain on duty at all times, never 1, always 2. It's called the 2-person rule. No single individual can launch a nuclear weapon alone. Every command requires confirmation. Every action requires agreement. Between your chairs sits a small panel. 2 identical keys, separated by several feet. They must turn at the same time to begin a launch sequence. The design is intentional. No hesitation, no mistakes, and no lone actor. Hours pass quietly. Most shifts involve system checks, communications tests, routine status reports. Then your partner opens the launch checklist binder. You flip through the pages slowly. Authentication procedures, launch authorization steps, emergency war orders. You realize something unsettling. This isn't theoretical training. Every page exists for a reason. The key turns only if 2 people agree. Level 3, the watch commander. Years pass. You move up the chain. Now you supervise crews instead of sitting in the chair. Missile forces operate under strict communication protocols. Messages arrive through encrypted channels. Everyone contains coded authentication strings. Most messages are drills, training scenarios, simulated emergencies designed to test readiness. Your crews open sealed envelopes containing verification codes. They compare them carefully. If the codes match, the message is legitimate. If they don't, the message is ignored. Every step exists to prevent false launches. History has shown how dangerous confusion can be. Cold War warning systems once mistook sunlight reflections for incoming missiles. Procedures evolved because mistakes nearly triggered catastrophe. Tonight, another message arrives. The alarm tone sounds across the control room. Your officers immediately begin the protocol. Safes open. Code books appear. Hands move quickly but precisely. Everything must be verified. Everything must match. You stand behind them watching the process unfold. No panic, just procedure. Then the drill message clears. The room relaxes again. But something stays with you afterward. The system isn't designed for debate. It's designed for speed. If the message is real, hesitation is failure. Level 4, the targeting officer. Promotion moves you above ground. Now you work inside a strategic planning center. The rooms look more like research labs than military facilities. Large digital maps fill entire walls. Simulation models run constantly. Your job changes completely. You no longer monitor missiles. You help decide where they would go. Nuclear targeting has evolved over decades. Military planners analyze hardened facilities, air bases, command bunkers, missile fields. Targets are assigned carefully within deterrence strategies. The idea is not destruction for its own sake. The idea is prevention. The logic is brutal but simple. If adversaries know retaliation is guaranteed, they hesitate to strike first. You begin reviewing strike simulations. Maps show potential targets across continents. Cities appear only as coordinates. Grid references, altitude values, blast radius projections. At first it feels abstract. Numbers on a screen, but occasionally a satellite image loads. A coastline, a river, a city skyline. For a moment you remember these places are real. People live there, work there, raise families there. Then the system switches back to numbers, coordinates again. Targets stop having names. Level 5, the strategic planner. Your responsibilities expand into doctrine. Strategic command planners examine nuclear posture constantly. How many weapons remain ready? Which systems guarantee a second strike? How quickly retaliation could occur after an attack? These calculations shape national defense policies. You help design response frameworks. Scenario 1, limited strike. Scenario 2, full escalation. Scenario 3, misinterpreted radar warning. Each possibility demands a different response path. Missiles launch from underground silos. Submarines patrol oceans carrying ballistic missiles. Strategic bombers remain ready on runways. Together they form what strategists call the nuclear triad. The goal is survivability. If one system fails, another responds. You sit through endless scenario briefings, charts, simulations, probability models. One thing becomes clear. Every strategy assumes something terrifying. At some point, someone might push the button. Deterrence works until it doesn't. Level 6, the command advisor. Your office moves closer to the center of power. You now brief senior leadership. The rooms are intentionally simple. No windows, no personal devices. Everything discussed here remains classified. Your job is to explain nuclear options clearly. If a crisis escalates, decision-makers need immediate answers. How long until response forces activate? How many systems remain operational? What escalation paths exist? You present the data calmly, charts, timelines, strategic consequences. Leaders listen quietly. No one interrupts. Because nuclear decisions move faster than political debates. Sometimes the questions feel heavy. How fast can we respond? What happens if communication lines fail? What options avoid escalation? You answer carefully. Every word matters. You notice something over time. Whenever nuclear scenarios appear on the screen, the room changes. Voices soften. People sit straighter. Even experienced leaders feel the weight. The room gets quieter every time nuclear options appear. Level 7, the authorization chain. Eventually, you oversee the systems that verify launch orders. Nuclear Command Authority follows strict legal frameworks. Multiple confirmations. Multiple communication pathways. Orders travel through secure networks, connecting leadership to operational forces. Every stage requires authentication, codes, identity verification, procedural checks. No system relies on one person alone. Even the launch crews underground must confirm the message authenticity. The two-person rule remains constant. If anything fails verification, the process stops. These layers exist for one reason: prevent unauthorized launches. But they also ensure something else. If a valid order arrives, it moves quickly. There is no confusion, no uncertainty. Every system activates exactly as designed. You realize something unsettling. The system was engineered for reliability above all else, not emotion, not hesitation, reliability. The system was designed to remove doubt. Level 8, the final decision room. You now stand inside one of the most secure rooms in government. This is where orders would pass through during a real crisis. Communication screens line the walls. Secure phones sit silent on the table. Encrypted networks link command authorities with missile crews, submarines, and aircraft. Every system is tested constantly. Redundant lines, backup satellites, independent power supplies. Everything built to function under extreme pressure. You walk through the room slowly. Every chair has a purpose. Every screen monitors a strategic system somewhere in the world. Right now, everything is calm. No alerts, no alarms. Just quiet status indicators, blinking steadily. Somewhere underground, young officers sit beside launch keys, exactly like you once did, watching their consoles, following procedure, waiting. You understand something now that no manual explains. The entire nuclear command system exists for a strange reason. Its greatest success is never being used. You hope the alarms never ring. The quiet is the only victory anyone wants. Night passes slowly. No crisis appears. No encrypted message arrives. The phones remain silent. Somewhere above ground, cities glow under streetlights. Millions of people sleep without thinking about nuclear deterrence. They don't see the bunkers. They don't hear the encrypted networks humming beneath the surface. They don't know how carefully the system is maintained. And maybe that's the point, because deterrence only works when it stays invisible.